Hello, I'm Mukhil. I'm a rising junior at Monte Vista High School, and this is my bootcamp project, the Wally robot. So I chose this project because it provides a well-rounded experience involving mechanical, software, and electrical. Um, so how this robot works is it displays different emotions using its servos and the LCDs and the LEDs. By so the LEDs pretend as eyes of the robot, and they change their pattern, um, expressing different emotions. And each emotion is triggered by this ultrasonic sensor here. So how an ultrasonic sensor works is it sends out sound waves, and these sound waves bounce off of nearby objects. So this sensor measures the time it takes for the sound waves to hit the object and come back, and it uses that information to get the distance. And this distance between the sensor and the object is what defines the emotion the robot shows. So I'm going to demonstrate this now. So when I plug my robot into power, you can see that it shows a booting screen and the servos have come to life. So even though you can't see it right now, the LCD will display all of the emotions. And yeah, so right now the robot is in a neutral position. Its eyes aren't doing much. And when I place an object in a certain distance from the sensor, you can see that it changes emotion. Right now, the eyes are in a closed state, and when I get closer to the robot, now the servo has tilted up, and the eyes have changed their pattern, and so have the eyebrow servos. And when I come closer, now the robot has changed to a sad state, and all of the servo has tilted down, and so have the eyebrow servos changed. And when I come more closer, now the robot is angry. And when I come really close to it, you can see that the robot is in a confused state. So, for my modification, I have added a magic 8-ball feature for the robot. So this involves mounting a button on the back of the robot. So what this button does is it triggers a random yes or no for a response. So when I press this button, it will either give me a yes or a no. Since it's randomly generated, it either says yes or no. So how it does that is, as you can see, the servos either not yes or no, and the LEDs change their pattern from a cross mark to a check mark when it does say yes. So this is a really fun tool that you can play around with. It can come in handy while making decisions. So anyone who wants to ask like a fun yes or no question can do so right now. Up here.
Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Okay, let's see. No.
Okay.
So, a few challenges I came across while putting this robot together was definitely with the LEDs. These LED matrices were really hard to mount because when the servos, after mounting everything together and the servos moved, if the servos did move a little too much, the LEDs, one of the LEDs would turn off due to the lack of slack in wires, which means the wires tug on and one of the LEDs would turn off. So that was a hard challenge to come across, and also coding these LEDs was harder than I thought they would be, since every single LED in this matrix was I had to manually put it in a on or off state depending on the thing it's doing. So further modifications I can make into this robot are adding a third servo for the neck. So right now, the neck of the robot only has two servos, and it helps the robot either move up and down or left to right. So adding a third servo would allow the robot to rotate in this axis, which would make the head of the robot move like this. And another modification can also be that adding a speaker to the robot would help it add more character to it, since we can make the speaker, we can make the robot say pre-recorded lines, and that would make it more fun to play around with. So in my experience in Bootcamp was really fun. I got to learn about new things. I was completely new to software when I came in here. I had not written a single line of code in my life, but right now we can see the output here. All of this, most of the code that has been put into this robot is completely original, and other things I learned in Bootcamp also involves the importance of documenting your work, because this robot might be disassembled in a few days, but the work that I have documented while making this is permanent and is proof that you in fact have done this robot and it has worked. So thanks to the great, the awesome teachers in J7, I was able to finish this robot in time and ready to use. And yeah.